I changed the question from the meeting.
Great.
Are Lions obviously the best team?
No. So listen, the Lions are the #1 draft pick to annihilate a bad team. They beat Dallas by 38. They beat Tennessee by 38. They beat Jacksonville by 46.
I like that.
I know you like that. I don't value that as much as some. And I respect the Lions immensely, and I think they have the best argument that they're the best team in their conference, and their conference is so much less top-heavy than the AFC. I think that's kind of what you're seeing in the odds a bit, is that the NFC feels like a clearer path for any team. But I know there's a lot of commentary on the internet about, quarterbacking's worse than it used to be. And I actually think quarterbacking, the top end of it's the best it's ever been in the history of football. I don't think you can be the best team in the league when you have a civilian at quarterback.
Come on.
Hold on. I know you're going to get mad. Just wait. Just wait. I think that Jared Goff is great when he's protected, but has a game like last week in him. He has it in him. And when you're going to be, and the whole NFC, by the way, might have civilians at quarterbacks if Stafford doesn't get back to old Stafford. All the superheroes play in the AFC. You saw 2 of them play last night. I think you saw 2 of them play in the afternoon. Lamar, you know what I mean? 29 out of 30 times is that guy. Those guys. I can't say this team with Jared Goff at quarterback is better than the Chiefs or the Bills. I can't. I won't. And so I think they're the best team in their conference right now. I think they're a good bet to make the Super Bowl. And they don't have to beat any of those superheroes at quarterbacks in the playoffs. But no, in the modern NFL, I think it's very, very difficult to win 3 straight playoff games with a guy, even if he's a good guy, at quarterback. And that's what I feel they have. You can be mad. That's my opinion on the Lions.
I'm not going to be mad. You're dead wrong. Like, what? Like, this is an organization that has completely built the way that they operate around his skill set. That is how you win games. That is how you stack success. It's not about, let's turn him into a guy that he's not. That's what bad coaches do, Wilds. This is a good program that understands Jared Goff isn't Lamar Jackson. Neither do we want him to be Lamar Jackson. He's not Jordan Love. Neither do we want him. Who he is what we need to build and protect. That is a guy that operates from the pocket. If we can protect this guy, we got a chance to be one of the best teams, if not the best team in football. That's who they are. That's what their brand is. They run the ball. They protect their quarterback. They make plays. They create turnovers every single week. You can't. Just because I agree with you. He's not a superhero, but in that offense, the way that they want him to run it, he is their superhero. He is the engine. Because if you take him out, this team doesn't operate the same. Every single week, we're going to be able to say that a quarterback has had a down week. We've seen it. We've excused Patrick Mahomes all season long, but he's had them.
Sure.
We've seen Lamar have them. We've seen Joe Burrow have it. We've seen all these quarterbacks have it. Jared Goff has it, and he doesn't have the leash.
Jared Goff's was not a down week. That
wasn't a down week.
No, I'm saying it was.
Some of the greatest quarterbacks.
Okay, it can be historic. It can be whatever. But do we believe that's who Jared Goff?
Well, he also won.
Exactly.
So
because do we believe that that's who he's going to be moving forward?
And he's been good. Look, he was pressured last week. He threw the 5 picks. But for the most part this year, he has been good against pressure.
He's been a top quarterback in the NFL against pressure. Stop with this nonsense. Just stop with the nonsense. Stop with the nonsense. Oh my God. What are we talking about right now? This team can't be the best team in the NFL because of Jared Goff, the guy who's been balling out. Like, what are we talking about? I mean, this just makes no fundamental sense at all. Like, Josh Allen is all of a sudden, or Jared Goff is all of a sudden a liability. Right? That's who Jared Goff is now. A liability to this team. That's what we're saying. The most dominant team in the NFL right now. The team that is just demolishing. That's why I love what Greg said. You're just dead wrong. Because it's true. Why do we think that every quarterback needs to look like Patrick Mahomes? Why do we think that? Nick Wright just had a whole segment about Lamar Jackson unable to handle the moment. He had a whole segment about in the playoffs against the Chiefs, against the Steelers, all of that he can't handle the moment. What did Jared Goff do in the biggest moment for the Detroit Lions against the Rams, against the 49ers? Did Jared Goff ball out? Yeah, he did. Was Jared Goff the reason why they lost? No. He stepped up in the biggest moments. The biggest moments. When the lights were the brightest and the pressure was the hottest. Jared Goff wasn't a liability for this team. And it doesn't even make sense. Jared Goff is an elite playmaker from the pocket. That's what he can do. Can he scramble all around and run in circles and rush for 100 yards and do some of the things that Josh Allen can do? No, he can't. And you know what? That's okay. Because there's only so many quarterbacks in the NFL who can. In the history of the NFL who can. So this idea that the Lions can't win the Super Bowl because of Jared Goff. Oh my God. I don't even know anymore. I really, really don't. It's just absurd. This team is stacked. This team is complete. This team is well coached, well prepared. They know what to do. They know what to ask of Jared Goff. And that's what Greg Jennings was saying. This team was built around to be able to maximize Jared Goff and to have Jared Goff maximize the players around him. This is a very complementary team. They're all able to feed off each other. This is a family. That's what I keep saying about this team. They are a family. They are connected. So it just doesn't make sense. You see the way the Lions are playing. You see the way the Chiefs are playing. Who do you think is the better team in the NFL right now? The Lions or the Chiefs? The Lions. We don't have to wait too long. The answer is the Lions. If we had no idea about the history of these two teams, if we had no idea about the history of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, nobody would say that the Kansas City Chiefs are better than the Lions. There's just all this hope and prayer that the Chiefs are just going to step up in the playoffs and that Patrick Mahomes is going to be better than he's been all year. Travis Kelce is going to suddenly rewind the clock and be the prime Kelce. Okay, if that happens, then that's extraordinary. That's really impressive. I will tip my hat. But to act like right now that the Lions aren't the best team in the NFL, that's insane. This isn't who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl. If you want to make the argument, and that's what I said before, if you want to make the argument that you think that another team will win the Super Bowl over the Lions, right? That's your prediction. Even if you're a diehard Lions fan, you can accept that prediction. Because you can accept, hey, you know what? I believe Patrick Mahomes and Andy and Spags, they're so good in the playoffs. They're able to lean on teams and this, that. Like, you can make that argument. That is an absolute appropriate argument. You can disagree with it, of course, but it is an actual appropriate argument. There is no argument, absolutely, positively zero logic to say why you think the Kansas City Chiefs are better than the Lions right now. There's zero reason. There's zero evidence, zero logic. We are talking about today in 2024, who is playing the best? Who is the better team? Who has better weapons? Who's more complete of a team? That is obviously the Detroit Lions. I've been saying this for weeks. And I got a lot of heat for it because people said, the Kansas City Chiefs are, oh, go figure, putting a Kansas City Chiefs team who's undefeated ahead of the Lions who have lost. Well, now they have the same record, don't they? So where's that argument now? Because that was the argument. They haven't lost since Christmas. That was always the comeback as to why the Lions aren't as good as the Chiefs. Well, now they've lost. So what's the argument now? Why are the Lions better? Tell me. Patrick Mahomes. Okay, is Patrick Mahomes playing like the best quarterback in the NFL right now? The answer is no. No. Well, his weapons, his injuries. Okay, well, that's part of why we think that the Lions are better. That's all part of it. So we can keep convincing ourselves one thing or the other. I mean, that's fine. We can keep lying to ourselves, or we could be accurate with what we're saying. The Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL. Should they be favored to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Can you make an argument why you think another team would win? Sure. Absolutely. Is there an argument that the Lions aren't the best team in the NFL? I would love to hear it. Your answer is Jared Goff? Okay. Jared Goff all of a sudden is such an awful quarterback. He's so bad that this team that is 9-1, that is balling out, Jared Goff included, he's such a bad quarterback that he can't be the best team. Like, that makes my head want to explode. There's no logic to it. I am a man of logic. I live and die by logic. I really do. If we're going to disagree about something, I need it to be logical. If I'm incorrect about something, I need to figure out where is my logic flawed. That's what I already said this before, but that's what I talk about with my best friend. I say, this is my conclusion. Am I thinking about this the right way? Is my logic flawed? Like, what am I reaching the wrong conclusion here? There's just no logical conclusion that you can say that the Lions aren't the best team in the NFL. There's just none. So to even try to argue against it, and the logic is Jared Goff, because he doesn't look like Lamar Jackson, who literally 5 minutes before this clip, because this came right after commercial break, he ripped Lamar Jackson for being unable to perform in the playoffs. And that's the logic then? Against the quarterback who has performed in the playoffs? Like, that's the logic? That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense, man. It just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Detroit Lions being the best team in the NFL? Or I guess they can't be because of Jared Goff. I really hope I kept saying Jared Goff and I didn't accidentally say Josh Allen. I will be bummed about that one, but you guys know what I mean. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.